up, IGN? It's day 2 of the E3 and we are still here to talk about video games, and right now we're going to talk about FIFA 16, I almost said FIFA 15. My name is Maarten and next to me is Nick Chen, and he's the senior producer of the game. Welcome, Nick.
Thank you.
Nice to have you here.
It's great to be here.
How's this E3 for you?
It's been fantastic. You see, we just opened the gates, so everyone's flooding in. It's been a great show as always. Day 2, so we're ready to go. So
you're working on FIFA 16 a whole year, I think. So let's just dive in. What did you bring for us?
Lots of stuff. So we're going to go straight into looking at some gameplay stuff here, and I think that we're really excited about the game that we're bringing in this year. Really taking a step back as developers, looking at all areas of our game. We talked a lot about innovating across the entire pitch, and really touching all the systems that we have, and really creating a very balanced experience. The balanced sports game is ultimately a real fun game to play.
So if you look back at FIFA 15, what would you name as the things that bothered you the most, where you were not happy with?
Yeah, well, listening to fan feedback, the two really big things, and one was he really wanted confidence in defending. It was difficult at times to stick with speedy wingers, Ronaldo,
they were really
Bale.
A bit overpowered,
right? And I think a lot of times you saw online players playing with Real Madrid versus Real Madrid. So we wanted to create a game that felt more balanced. So we've done a lot of work in defending, which we're going to show you in a minute. The second thing as well was really bringing the midfield back into play, and
people just bypass the midfield completely, right?
Exactly, and I think a lot of people felt they could go from from defending straight up to the up front with the long passes, but also that pace, the speed of the wide players, especially the skilled ones, meant it was quite easy to bypass the midfield. So those are the things that we've really focused on. Also looking at creating those moments of magic as well, kind of some new dribbling mechanics, working a lot on shooting, and literally touching every single system in our game. But it's all about creating a really balanced experience.
All right, awesome. So Pele was actually at the press conference of EA, right?
Absolutely.
So what is his relation with the game, actually?
Well, if we look at our game and looking at creating this balanced experience, we have an amazing technology. We have the player impact engine and physics and locomotion and animation. If we can create it, looking at our entire game, improving it, balancing the game out, we feel that ultimately it's the beautiful game, and in FIFA you can play beautiful. He coined that phrase. What better way to and what better way to show that than have the great man himself on stage with David on Monday?
Yeah, well, so looked really cool. Okay, let's just dive in. I think you have a new feature. It's called Swift defending, no?
Yeah, swing steps. So
swing steps. Okay,
so we've done a lot of work around really focusing in on the agility and the responsiveness in the players, and this is just one example of many. So you see Neymar here, the defender. He's just keeping with Bale, and you can see just quickly and agile keeps changing in these swing steps to stay with Bale. And as we know, last year at times it was very difficult to stay with Bale as a defender. If we go into the next sequence here, we've obviously done a lot of work around the player movement itself and responsiveness, but we've also done a lot of work around the AI of the team themselves, the defensive playing as a unit. So you can see there that the possession was changed. There was a change in possession. What I want you to look at is the bottom of the screen. Look at the left back, sorry, the right back. And he covers instantly, gets back into play, and is able to cover that, nice through ball.
Is this the AI, or is this?
This is the AI actually tracking back for you, getting players back into position. Here's another example here. Previously in the game, we'd focused too much on man marking. Players would focus completely on man marking. If you look at the top of the screen here, you can see Rakitic. He's man marking. I think it's Ronaldo at the top there.
Yeah, that's Ronaldo.
Benzema gets the ball, and then you can see Bale makes a great run. So he moves away from Ronaldo because he's covered by Piqué, and he's able to actually cover that space. So what we're seeing is moving away from man marking to actually cover dangerous space. Really important, and it's sort of transforming the feel of the game. Another thing we just want to show here, I'll come in a little bit closer, is some work we've done around animations and actually some new context and the way that we're doing in defending. So you mentioned this to me earlier. I know you played this.
Yeah, I'm really happy about this.
Focus on Marcelo here. We've completely redone all of the slide tackle animations. As he come in, Messi recognizes that he's coming. Marcelo actually commits to slide tackle. Messi then dinks over him.
He's never going to reach it.
You can now press the slide tackle button again, pop up, and you're back in the play, and he
Yeah.
uses body position to actually win back the ball.
Yeah, this is totally new. I really like this. I actually played the game yesterday already, and
Yeah.
I used it a lot, and it works.
It really
So,
helps that responsive feel. So what we're going to go now...
Why did you guys do this? Is it because the old sliding tackle was just, it was too, if you missed it, it was just game over?
Exactly. I think, slide tackle could be powerful, but it could also just take you completely out of the play. And we wanted to get that responsiveness back, make him feel you had a second choice. You look at top players, they can get up pretty quickly. So we wanted to focus in on that. This is now where we're really focusing in on the midfield, and that's sort of what we call midfield matters again. So we've really completely reworked our interception logic. As the ball comes forward here, Benzema's about to get the ball, but you can see that PK actually gets tight, and he sees the opportunity to come in and intercept. So we're getting these really nice two-player interactions, and he steps in to challenge the ball. Here's another example of it here. The ball comes in, and it's Rakitic again here, actually. He comes in and sees that he can get to the ball and actually slides to do that. Cool. This is transforming the feeling of the game. It's meaning that you can't bypass the midfield anymore. You have to build up play through the midfield, think about different ways to attack. It's creating much more variation, meaning that you can look and play with different teams, within the game. But I talked about balance right off the top, and this is a way that you can counter the interceptions. You can now do a quick pass, a hard pass anywhere on the pitch. Right? Yeah, it's right bumper and pass, or R1 and pass. Yeah. And you can see here, this is a much quicker pass. Neymar here hasn't got a chance. You can see that Mascherano's trying to do what PK did, but because the ball's played more quickly, he doesn't have that opportunity.
Does this also mean it's hard to control the ball as an attacker?
That's a great point, and absolutely, depending on where you're using this, how you're using this, the skill of the player that's receiving the ball, it might mean he takes a little heavier touch, absolutely. Right. Again, it's about maintaining that balance. So what we're going to show you here is a new dribbling mechanic. This is what we call no-touch dribbling. This gives you the ability to choose when and where you touch the ball. So if you look
sounds a bit odd.
It does, but
dribbling.
Ultimately, you think about Messi and Ronaldo. They use body swerve, they use feints to get round defenders. It's actually left bumper or L1. You think about the clutch in a car. When the clutch is off, you can dribble normally, a dribble touches. If you engage the clutch, the engine is not engaged anymore, so you can move around the ball without touching it. So here's a great example of it here. Messi just faces up Ronaldo. We're holding down the left bumper here. He goes one way to feint, comes back the other way, and then explodes out. So it's about explosive movement out and goes around Marcello.
Is it with a bumper or a trigger?
It's left bumper.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you release it, it's explosive.
Exactly. You move out. Exactly.
So this is a great way to just humiliate your opponent.
Yeah, and this is a way of using it as speed. So here we're using sprint with Ronaldo. And here's, again, it's just a little body feint here. He does it right there. That's enough to sell PK, who slides in, and then he rides the challenge. So
it could have gotten up, though.
Yeah, leads in different situations, and it's another little tool that you can use to win the ball. We talked about touching everything. I'm just going to touch on a couple of extra things here. We've completely reworked crossing as well. So I'm going to show you here how we've reworked how you cross the ball, but also our targeting of crosses. Previously, crosses would be very square.
Yeah.
It was
a
bit
of a bit.
and a bit of exactly, and a dice roll of who wins the ball. Players would go up, attackers defend. Exactly.
It felt like you had no control of the pass.
Yeah. So now, if this is a double tap cross, I'm actually leading the player a little bit more. We're getting players to run onto the ball. In this case, it's Benzema. You can see the ball is in behind the defenders, and he's trying to get in on the ball.
Great.
What this means, though, is there's more error on crosses. It means that if you don't time it, they'll probably miss. They'll just miss the attacker. So there's more skill involved. It also means there's a better thing if you can get space out wide, you can get a more accurate cross in. The final thing we're going to show you now is just on shots, and just to sort of show you a couple of examples here. We're now spending a lot more effort in looking at how the ball and the foot connect.
All right.
We're actually using a 3D model of the foot. And in this case, it's a very square shot. He hits it square, laces shot, and you can see this is a more straight driven shot. We're getting more driven trajectories into the game. Feel that we wanted shooting to feel a little bit more rewarding. So this is more of a driven straight shot.
Okay.
If I show you another example here, this is Kroos. He comes around and he gets his foot around the ball a little bit more. And this is actually a curling shot. It feels a bit more finesse. This is actually
a finesse shot?
No, this is a normal laces shot. Again, but the sort of in-swinging shot, which is nice. And then the opposite, here Benzema cuts across the ball, and it spins away. So really trying to, we've got great ball physics. If we can, more realistically look at how the foot connects to the ball, we can get much more emergent behavior.
Last year you totally redid the goalkeepers.
Yes.
There were some troubles with it, I think. They were pedaling backwards, so it was a bit...
Yeah.
Well, that was a trouble with long shots.
Yeah.
How did you guys?
So just to sort of, we understand there was some issues. There was some times when goals went in, and it didn't feel great. We've put just as much effort this year as last year into the goalkeepers. We're looking at making sure that balance between the shooter and the goalkeeper feels right, dealing with some of the issues that we had. But really, we have an amazing technology base with the goalkeepers, with the changes that we made, and really helping to develop and enhance that this year. So lots of investment in goalkeepers again.
And lots of balancing as well with the play.
Absolutely.
Another big feature is the women's teams.
Yeah.
Actually, the first time in FIFA history we get to play with the ladies.
Yeah, so I think we're seeing the video here right now, and this for us as a team, we've been working on this for a while and on quite a few years, and we're incredibly proud to be able to bring women into our game. We want to be the most authentic football game there is, and we feel women need to be part of that. But when we bring women to our game, we wanted to make sure we did it right. So we did a prototype.
What was the big challenge?
So we did a prototype about 3 years ago, and we realized that our body scaling, the way we did body types, just wasn't good enough. So we did a lot of work in that technology. We did a very linear scaling. Now we're scaling by body, shoulders, hips. It's created much more unique body types, which actually enhances the man's game as well. We can do tall, skinny players. Peter Crouch, Akafemwa, obviously he's a FUT legend. We can do those kind of body types now in a more authentic way. We did facial scanning, lots of new animations. We also did hair simulation. So we wanted to bring all these elements in when we brought women to our game, and we've been able to do that.
So there's like 12 teams right now.
12 international teams,
so
absolutely.
Are there going more international teams? Are there going to be club teams?
Well, we've started with 12, and obviously we're very excited to do that. We'll see how people react, and we'll look and see what we want to do in the future. But right now it's 12 international teams.
So I also saw we saw Messi, right? And we had this. He had the tattoo sleeve.
Yeah.
That's a new thing in FIFA as well, right?
It is. So obviously we've never had tattoos on the arms before. It's just Messi right now.
Why is it just Messi? Why?
Well, it's just technically, it was something we needed to change the way we made up the different body types, again, and we're just focusing on that one right now, and we'll see what happens in the future.
Because there's a lot of players with tattoos.
Absolutely.
So we talked about women's football. We talked about the midfield, shooting, goalkeepers. What else is there completely new? I think it's the trainer, right? The hints and tips during the game. Yeah,
so we wanted to create, we obviously have a lot of new players coming in, but also for our core players as well. You get a lot more out of a game when you understand it, when you understand how to play. And I think people don't want to go through a mode. They don't want to go through training, as it were, to learn the game. They want to learn the game whilst playing it. So the inspiration for us is, the best way to learn a game is with a friend sitting next to you. It's, press this button. So we created this overlay system where you play the game. If you're out wide, it says cross. If you're in on goal, shoot. But the key is as well, it kind of updates with you. So if you complete a number of passes, it'll then show you through balls. But it'll also start to show you more of the complex controls, double, triple tap crosses. So what we're finding is,
how do you choose? I mean, this game is getting pretty complicated. I mean, purpose passing. I always use the left bumper as well to just get to start a 1-2 combination.
Yeah, absolutely.
So how do you choose what to tell the player, the new player, obviously?
It's a great question. We're looking, basically it'll automatically kind of level up with you. Or for our more experienced players, you can set it to level 5, 6, or 7 and actually have it at that higher level straight away and learn some of the more advanced moves. And again, we're finding everyone learns something, which helps enhance their experience. And that's what it's all about. The more you know about the game, the more you get out of it.
All right. Well, thank you very much for being here. So good luck with the game.
Thank you very much.
Thank you guys for watching. We'll be right back with another awesome game, so stay tuned here at IGN. Thanks for watching.
记得搜索巴士单机游戏哦。